Good evening. It's your lady in red. Well, at least tonight I'm actually like a candy cane. Since I had to purchase a white shirt for my trips to visit people that are locked up, I thought, well, gee, I may as well start wearing it when I need to go and take one of the little sisters at the convent to a doctor appointment. Well, I had some fun today when I took one of this 93-year-old little sister, and she was so with it, to an appointment. And it was funny because they all know me as your lady in red, and they thought, well, where's your red van or your red car? And of course, today being the feast day of the Assumption, of course, I had my husband's blue car. But this isn't just any blue car, and it isn't just today, because what's been really funny is that I've not been able to sit there and use my cars. When you've got a couple teenagers and they now have licenses, all of a sudden one's driving the van and the other one is driving the other car. And so now all of a sudden I found myself stuck and needing to use my husband's car. Well, remember I've told you how my husband is over in Saudi Arabia for like 6 weeks at a time and then home for about a week or two. Well, every time for the last 4.5 years, for the last 4 years, he started, I would put it, because it's such a FuFu car. I mean, we're talking now 2006 Chevy Impala with a tilted sunroof and 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds and V8 engine and chrome custom wheels. And I mean, it does everything but brush his teeth. And of course, and I don't even fit in the car because I'm so short. I sit there and I move the seat all the way up, and then all of a sudden the steering wheel, it's like literally right in my face, and I still can hardly reach the pedals. And of course, when I would ride in the car, I just always hated to even ride in the car, because if I had my pants, my polyester pants, I'd be sliding all over these leather seats. So it's never been kind of my favorite car, but my husband just loves this. So when he would leave, I would literally unplug the cables to the battery. We would put it under a tarp, and we'd either store it in his mother's garage or something, but we would just put it away. Well, now, finding myself without a car about 6 months ago or so, I thought, all right, well, guess maybe I'll just have to use it. And to me, it was always just 4 wheels, and certainly not my first choice. And of course, he'd always be saying, so how did you like driving my car? And I'd go, well, it's just 4 wheels. And I think I kind of hurt his feelings. Well, this little sister, it was the first time I'd taken her with me. And so here she was expecting, my red van, because they always are talking about my red cars for the red lady. And all of a sudden, here's this blue car. And I said, oh, yeah, it's Mama Mary's car, because today is being the feast day. And the next thing I know, here she gets in this car, and all of a sudden, this loud noise of the vroom, and she was just so excited to go for the ride. And I mean, this was a car that I would sit there, and because it was so full of energy and so powerful, I was actually at first afraid to drive it. In fact, I would sit there and have my neighbor, I would beg him to sit there. My husband needs the car just kind of taken around the block, and he doesn't want the wheels getting flat or whatever. And he would just sit there and go, really? You want me to drive it? You don't want to drive it? And it's like, so anyway, now when my husband comes home, of course, I'm sitting there going, well, you really need to be using the car. I mean, I just, he says, oh, no, that's okay. You can go ahead and use it, even share it. I'll share it with you. So the little sister was so excited, and it just made me realize that, sometimes, what some person's goal is or what some person's pleasure is not necessarily your own, but we really need to be respectful and just appreciate the fact that that's something important to them. So whatever your vehicle is to get you to your goal or your destination, the important thing is just to get in and start driving. And at first it might seem a little awkward, and it might even seem like a little bit too powerful, but guess what? It is still just 4 wheels, and the important thing is that you're moving in the direction. So many people just sit there and they just kind of watch the parade go by, or they just watch the cars go by. But the important thing is to get in and start going, and guess what? You don't need to sit there and worry about whether you have to take the detour to Timbuktu. You can just sit there and fast track and click the button below. And guess what? You'll get there just as fast, if not faster, by sitting there and getting to your destination, your goals and your dreams. And you can too. So God bless and good night. And I'm off in my FuFu car tomorrow. Good night.